This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV Hindu.
Mahabalipuram goes into a curfew-like situation after a vandalized statue sparks clashes between the PMK and the VCK.
This is the damage that was done in the morning. Apparently, according to the PMK, some local VCK people have come and damaged it.
After NDTV Hindu dug out the cases of illegal sand trade, a revenue district officer catches 6 lorries red-handed in the act. After the stinking truth of a subhuman hostel in Mylapore was revealed, the Minister for the Backward Classes has still not reacted with a report. Starting tonight, hold on to your SMS and MMSs. The central government bans both for the next 3 days. It's now the students who are angry over the school fee row their parents to come out in large demonstrations next month. Big Brother Madras University sends out a warning to its hundreds of colleges, threatens to strip off courses if teachers are not qualified. It's going to be just as delayed in the Dharmapuri burning case. The accused 3 plead for mercy and a review petition. And it's a childhood dream for the squash ace ranked 4. Anvisha Reddy gets ready to take on
representing the Commonwealth Games is the biggest thing, and it's a really big honor.
Good evening and welcome to News Tonight on NDTV Hindu. I'm Evelyn Matthew. The city has been relatively spirited to take to the streets today. 5 of those demonstrations have made their way to our bulletin tonight. Before we get into those stories in detail, here are our top national stories. The Commonwealth Games, or the Commonwealth Shame, today a part of the ceiling of a brand new venue for weightlifting caves in. It's now the Chief Minister of Delhi calling the collapse of the footover bridge minor. The BJP requests for no more embarrassment. And if that wasn't enough, 3 British athletes pull out. A world triple jumper says security is more important than a medal. And the Ayodhya verdict's defamation plea fails to reach the Supreme Court. The Home Minister asked the people to react with caution. Well, trouble has been brewing in the temple town of Mahabalipuram, where PMK workers went on the rampage today after a Pallava statue was found damaged. Tense moments were witnessed when PMK members alleged VCK cadres for the act. The statue was damaged last night, and when the cadres saw it this morning, they came in hordes in discontent. It was only later in the day that a PMK legislator spoke to the police officials, urging them to bring the vandals to book. NDTV Hindu took a walk down one of those popular lanes, one that's usually abuzz with tourists, but today bore a rather desolate look.
I'm standing here in what is commonly referred as the Cafe Street in Mahabalipuram, and if you've ever come to Mahabalipuram, you would know this street, housing some of the most famous cafes in town, serving sumptuous seafood. But as you can see, it's almost a state of curfew. Every shop, every cafe in this cafe lane is closed. Their business is closed since morning. This is after the clashes broke out between the VCK and the PMK. Of course, the clashes were there on the main road, but certain elements did kind of trickle in, threaten the shopkeepers to shut shop. When some of them shut shop, it was almost like a domino effect. Everybody else also fell in line and shut shops. As you can see, everything, right from the internet cafes to in fact, everything, internet cafes, even some of the child homes here in this lane are all shut right now. Even the seafood restaurants, you see, even some of the guest houses have shut their main entrances so that no untoward element who could have been left after the clashes, in fact, abated for a little while, could come and threaten foreign tourists. Now, this place is usually abuzz with foreign tourists and also and of course some of the local ones who do come in from Chennai, Pondicherry, across Tamil Nadu. This street is buzzing. The cafes here are buzzing with foreigners, but as you can see, everything being closed, the business is really down today, almost a curfew-like situation, although officially it's not a curfew. Everybody is just taking a precautionary measure so that no further damage is done to life and property.
Well, in other news, just 24 hours after NDTV Hindu's ground report on the illegal sand quarrying in Vellore and regions of Vanyambadi was aired, the authorities have finally taken action. 6 lorries were caught in the act of illegal sand quarrying and have been impounded by the revenue district officer. Our reporter Ramanathan, who got us that ground report from Vellore, tells us more about the crackdown on the multi-crore sand mafia.
A day after NDTV Hindu aired the ground report on the sand mafia operating in the Vellore and Vaniambadi region, the illegal operators in the area were faced with a rude shock today, with at least 6 of their lorries being seized by the revenue district officer. These lorries were carrying sand which were illegally mined out of areas which NDTV Hindu had visited in the past few days. These were the sites near Ranipet and Valajapet areas. In fact, the crackdown on the mining this morning was so swift and effective that the entire illegal mining industry came to a standstill. All lorries and trucks lining up at the government quarries instead of the quarries run by illegal miners. The officials have held a round of meetings today and promised further crackdown with more raids in the night when the illegal activities are at their peak. Meanwhile, there has been no response to the allegations of PWD officials being involved in the scams. The sand traders have been very vocal about the involvement of officials, but even after repeated requests by us, high-ranked officials have refused to go on record on this issue. However, what remains to be seen is how long these officials are able to hold perpetrators of this 1,000 crore illegal industry back. Ramanathan for NDTV Hindu.
October the 8th, a date that was supposed to spell justice to 3 families in Tamil Nadu, a day when justice was to come calling after 10 long years. But now it looks far from it, all because of something called clemency. After the Supreme Court upheld the death penalty of the 3 accused in the Dharmapuri students' burning case, a court in Salem sent orders to the Vellore prison. But now the hanging of these AIADMK party men may not take place on that date. They are in the process of submitting mercy petitions. Besides this, these 3 accused are also filing a review petition in the Supreme Court, seeking review of the Apex Court's decision of handing over death penalty to them. Once the mercy petitions are given either to the Tamil Nadu governor or to the president, hanging of these 3 AIADMK workers will be delayed indefinitely. And the father of one of those victims, Kokilavani, spoke to us. A broken Mr. Veerasamy is obviously angry with this development.
இது பட்டம்பகலில் 11 மணிக்கு பட்டம்பகலில் நடந்த சம்பவம் உலக அறிஞ்ச விஷயம். நான் புதுசாக ஒன்று சொல்ல வேண்டியது என்ன இருக்குது, 3 கோர்ட்லேயும் தூக்கு தண்டனைன்னு உறுதியாகிட்டுது. உறுதியான பிற்பாடு ஜனாதிபதி கருணமணி மட்டும் என்ன தூக்கிட்டு போகிறார், அவரும் தூக்கு தண்டனை உறுதி தான் பண்ண போகிறாரு. இதில் என்ன சந்தேகம் இருக்குன்னு எனக்கு ஒன்றும் புரிய மாட்டேங்குது. ஆனால் எங்கே போனாலும் இது மாதிரி காட்டு மிராண்டி மாடுங்களுக்கு இவங்களுக்கு நம்ம பிள்ளைங்களுக்கு என்ன சம்பந்தம் இல்லாமல் பட்டம் மகளில் குளுத்திரம் தாய்கள் இவனுக்கெல்லாம் என்ன போய் பாவம் மன்னிப்புல தேவைப்படுது. அதெல்லாம் ஜனாதிபதியில் மனோரம் லேட் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காங்க. லேட் பண்ணக்கூடாது, சீக்கிரம் தூக்கு தண்டனை உறுதி பண்ணணும்.
And human rights activist Professor Raj Vasantan and advocate V.V. Giridhar joined us. We discussed how the offenders of today are left scot-free and action needs to be immediate in nature.
What the father of this Gokilavani, one of the victim, has rightly told, the accused will have never the human rights. The accused doesn't have the rights, and the accused should be hanged. There's no other opinion. Whatever the date is prescribed at 8th of October, if there is any delay, it's only through process of law. In the process of law, the mercy petition is one of the stage. When the president, the president of India, if disposes this case, then definitely they'll be hanged on 8th of October.
Certainly, because there are certain cases which requires capital punishment, and it all depends on the gravity of the offence committed by the offender. Therefore, certainly it will be a closing chapter, because any punishment that should be deterrent in nature. Therefore, certainly capital punishment is really required.
Well, still ahead on News Tonight, a scientist with a helping hand wants a security blanket for himself, first for his latest creation.